The historical record documents for commodity supercycles since 1860. Each lasted between 15 and 35 years. This is the archive of the 4 episodes. Chapter 1. The first documented supercycle. 1860 to 1880. The first commodity supercycle coincided with 2 major structural developments, the industrialization of the American economy following the Civil War, and the Second Industrial Revolution in Europe. Iron, coal, and copper prices rose in a sustained manner from the early 1860s, driven by railway construction across the United States and Europe simultaneously. U.S. railway mileage grew from around 30,000 miles in 1860 to nearly 94,000 miles by 1880, tripling in 20 years. The commodity price peak came around 1870 to 1873. The Resolution, the Long Depression, ran from 1873 to 1879. Chapter 2. The Second Supercycle. 1896 to 1917. The second supercycle was driven by the industrial rise of the United States to the world's largest economy and the early stages of electrification. Copper, the critical commodity for electrical infrastructure, led the cycle. Gold production expanded significantly from the 1890s due to new discoveries in South Africa, Australia, and the Klondike, which added monetary base and supported the commodity price expansion. The cycle was disrupted rather than resolved naturally by the First World War. Commodity prices spiked sharply in 1916 to 1917, then collapsed in 1920. Chapter 3. The Third Supercycle. 1945 to 1973. The post-war reconstruction and subsequent economic growth of Western Europe and Japan drove the third documented supercycle. This supercycle was the most sustained in the record, nearly 30 years. Oil was its defining commodity. The price of oil remained below $2 per barrel for most of the 1950s and 60s before the OPEC embargo of 1973 quadrupled it. Industrial metals, copper, tin, and aluminium, traced a parallel sustained expansion over the same period. The resolution was the OPEC shock, stagflation, and the Volcker shock of 1979 to 83, which broke inflation and commodity demand simultaneously. Chapter 4. The Fourth Supercycle. 2000 to 2014. The fourth documented supercycle was driven by Chinese industrialization, the most rapid large economy structural transformation in the historical record. China's share of global commodity consumption rose from approximately 10% in 2000 to approximately 50% by 2014 for key industrial metals. The Bloomberg Commodity Index rose approximately 250% between 2000 and its peak in 2008. The 2008 financial crisis produced a sharp correction, but Chinese stimulus recovered prices to near-peak levels by 2011. The definitive peak came in 2011 for most metals and energy, and the cycle resolved through Chinese demand deceleration and supply-side expansion financed by the price surge. Chapter 5. What the 4 cycles share. Each supercycle was driven by a structural shift in industrial demand, not by financial speculation alone. Each lasted between 15 and 35 years, longer than a typical business cycle. Each was preceded by a period of underinvestment in commodity supply, which made the demand surge more acute. Each resolved through demand deceleration, supply-side response, or both, not through policy intervention alone. The cycles overlap in their commodity focus. Oil dominated the third. Metals dominated the fourth. Whether a fifth cycle is underway as of 2025 is not yet recorded in the archive. The historical record only covers completed episodes. Historical commentary. Undocumented commodity price data. Not a forecast. Not investment advice. Speak to an authorized financial advisor for your own situation.